About a month ago, a professional basketball player named Korver wrote an article called Privileged. In that article, he talked about how it took him a whole bunch of years to finally realize that the thoughts he had regarding a lot of his teammates were incorrect. Just to get a little perspective on here, he now plays for the Utah Jazz, but he played for Cleveland Cavaliers, and he helped them win the championship a few years ago. And he's probably one of the best shooters that the league has had in a lot of years. Not the very best, but he's pretty good. He's been around a good long time. And he has always had a good relationship with his teammates, who are predominantly black. That's the NBA. That's just how it is. And so he talked about seeing different incidences happening over the course of years, some with people who are in the league, one even with a teammate. And in his mind, he always thought, well, they had to have done something wrong. The police wouldn't do anything, and no one else would do anything. It had to be something that they did. And he finally came to a realization that he was actually privileged in the fact that he could have that thought and realize that the things that were happening to minorities, even his own teammates, weren't happening to him. And he found that out because his teammate got accused of something, and his teammate turned out to be totally innocent. But he initially just assumed his teammate had to have done something wrong. And he basically said at the end, or near the end of the article, he realizes now that white people have to come out and actually work to help end discrimination and racism because black people can't do it on their own. They need white voices. I've been saying that for years. Now, it's great to have him come out and say that. It really helps to validate things. You know, I'm one of those people who does not like diversity issues. I don't like when they happen. Bad. I don't like racism. I don't like sexism. I don't like ageism. I don't like fat shaming. I don't like any of that stuff. It happens all the time. And every once in a while, when I see it, I call it out. I may wait a little while to call it out, but I always call it out. I've called it out as a consultant in certain hospitals where I've talked to someone later on and said, boy, you know what, this place really needs to get its act together as it, pertains to diversity. And I've almost always gotten the exact same response. Well, I think it's doing well. Really? I was at a hospital in New Jersey, and it was a business office, a hospital business office, and they had 13 people in the office. The director was Cuban. There was one white lady there, and everyone else in there was black. And that sounds pretty diverse, except for the fact that in the entire hospital, there wasn't a single black director in the entire hospital. There wasn't a single black supervisor in the entire hospital. There was an African who was over the lab, and he didn't even treat black people well. I don't know. I really don't understand this clash, but it's there. And I called it out. And they said, well, no, look at all the black people we have working here. I said, there's no leadership. There's no one here who really thinks that they have a chance to be promoted. And I talked to one of the people down there. There was this guy, he was brilliant, and he liked to play. And one day I had him come down. I said, look, we got to talk. I said, you don't understand. You know your stuff, but you're always playing around. You could be the first person to actually take that step and be a director here. I don't know what I can do to help you get there, but you really need to kind of up the game because you are the only guy. You are the one who can do this. I know that because even though I didn't play, I was you over 20 years ago, which I was. So the guy started dressing up nicely, and he cleaned up his act, and he was helping people. And so I went to someone. Because something happened to the director of the department. I'm not going to get into that, but something happened. And I went to someone and said, so why don't you promote him? Look at the job he's done. Everyone goes to him for everything. I said, well, I don't know. I don't think he takes things seriously enough. I said, have you been paying attention to him? For the last 4 months, he's come to work every day wearing a tie, wearing a nice shirt, sometimes wearing a jacket. He's got on nice shoes. He's not playing anymore. How come you can't look at this guy and tell he really wants to do this? well, I don't know. I'm not sure he's mature enough. This is the kind of thing that irks someone like me. You want to pigeonhole someone into a certain thing, and then you don't necessarily pay any attention to the fact that they've changed. And like I said, everyone was going to him for help anyway. But I was the black guy. I was the black consultant. I was it. And everyone else was white, and they weren't going to listen to me. Would have helped if I could have had maybe at least one more white person to say, you know what, we really ought to look at this and think about promoting someone who's minority, who's black. I have to say black. The area was predominantly black, and you didn't have a black director. And it doesn't work that way. I can say this stuff till I'm, well, darker in the face than I am now. I can talk about sexism and racism and all these other kind of things, and no one can listen to me. They may hear me, but they're not going to listen to me because I don't have those supporting voices. It takes everybody. Hillary Clinton talked about it takes a village to raise a child. Well, you know what? To me, it takes a community to wipe out racism. It just does. It takes a community to wipe out sexism. It takes some serious people to decide, you know what, I'm tired of this status quo. We need to start respecting everybody and giving everyone at least the fair opportunity to succeed. That's my rant today. I hate to, it has to be me, but no one else is doing it. It has to be me. But let me know your thoughts. If you're white, are you willing to step forward and help somebody? Offer an opinion that's positive. Take a chance and say something that you know your peers probably aren't going to like, aren't going to listen to it. They're going to hem and haw. They're going to make excuses. But are you willing to take a step? Y'all let me know. My name is Mitch Mitchell. I'll talk to you later.